So the Warhound is the new factory unit. It's a mechanical unit. Its main role is the anti-air mass mutalist role like the Thor used to have. And it's a medium-cost, fairly fast-moving mechanical unit. So it's pretty much just a smaller, faster version of the Thor. So it won't suffer from the two Thor problems that we mentioned before. But the main difference of the Warhound compared to the Thor is that it's got an anti-mechanical ground attack, which means if you're fighting against another Terran player who's using mostly factory-based units, this is a very powerful unit to use against that. And also against Protoss, because most of the Protoss ground units are mechanical units, in a straight-up mass situation, I think the only non-mechanical unit Protoss has is the Zealot. So this really allows us to move the Thor up into a different role. And the role that we chose for the Thor was the Limit 1, super high health, high burst damage, really easy to use, attack move friendly unit. So this really allows us to fulfill the fantasy of the Uber unit that the Mothership really couldn't fulfill back in Wings of Liberty. The Mothership had a lot of problems. It was slow moving. It was always the first target to kill because of the cloak ability. And it had a bunch of powerful spells, so if you didn't use those spells, the Mothership was not as powerful as it could be. So we're hoping that this new Thor really caters to that group of players that really want that Uber sort of unit. Yeah. And I'd just like to point out that this unit is definitely under construction, and in our internal playtests, this unit felt pretty strong, especially against Terran and Protoss, and against Mutalisks as well. But we just want to always look for more feedback on this guy. So if you get a chance to go out to the playtest stations and just check it out and give us feedback, that would be greatly appreciated. So in this first video, you'll see the Hellions and Warhounds going up against the more traditional Marine tank army. So the Marines and tanks are spread out pretty well. So the Hellions will go into the new battle mode, which would allow them to withstand the siege tank fire a lot easier, while the Warhounds are picking off the siege tanks using focus fire. They actually have 7 range, so they're pretty good at picking off siege tanks like this. So obviously, if all these siege tanks and Marines were packed up tightly into a choke point, there's no way this Hellion and Warhound army could push that line. But that's exactly what we wanted to go for. We wanted the more traditional Marine and siege tank army to be stronger at tighter chokes with heavily defended chokes, whereas the Hellions and Warhounds have the mobility advantage to fight against that in a different way.